What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Court of Capes. Today we'll be talking about Transformers Prime Season 1, Episodes 20 through 25. With that number, that means we will be talking about Transformers first finale.
Through 26.
26. Dang it, see? I knew I did something wrong.
So close.
So close. Who cares, though? Who really cares? I'm one of your judges. Yeah, just the Transformers fan. I'm one of your judges, the Renegade, Darkness correspondent, Joshua Shelton. Alongside of me, we have a very huge Transformers fan, as we've all said. Or, sorry, Cybertronian fan. All right? Is that what we're going to go with?
No, that's literally the wrong time to use it.
Ah, dang it, man. I gotta learn. I gotta learn. And MCU conspiracy theorist Judge Brown.
Hello, everyone. We're being patient with Josh today.
Oh, no, not at all. All right. Today's episode will just be literally Transformers hating. All right. We got...
Fight me.
What was that?
We got the showman, the conqueror, Judge Cooper.
Quick, find the butt of leadership.
We got the young one, the WandaVisionary, Special Inquisitor, Anthony Cooper.
Let's go. Unicorn for life.
Honestly, you had me at you. All right.
Nice.
That was a statement. That was a neutral statement that I felt nothing about.
Let's keep going. I wasn't mad or happy about that.
Yep. Like
I'm like,
that was
okay,
like
next sentence.
that statement was white bread.
It was white bread, but it's a little stale.
Yeah, just a little.
A little. Come on. Come on. It wasn't that bad. All right.
It's like when you put your shorts on, you're like, I think I'll wash these.
So as stated before, we will be talking about episodes 20 through 26. All right. Of Transformers Prime, getting to our very first finale of the show itself. It's been a ride. We have this season and one more season, correct, JC?
Nope, there's 3 seasons in the movie.
3 seasons
Yep.
and a movie. What?
Third season's only 13 episodes, though.
Yeah.
But each episode's an hour long.
What?
2 hours.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, JC, man. Alright, so the very first episode we'll be reviewing is episode 20, titled Partners, which, Curtis, would you like to take us down a little road?
Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Alright, so according to Netflix, Arachnid and Starscream team up to retrieve a weapon, but when Starscream is captured, he reveals that he would rather team up with the Autobot.
Ooh.
Wow, this is a good episode. Real good episode. Right off the top, I love the Starscream Arachnid dynamic. I mean, they're both slimy and definitely don't respect Megatron, but in their own fun ways.
Mm-hmm. I like
And,
Starscream a lot more than Arachnid in this episode, though, personally. But yeah.
I liked them both equally, mostly because I'm an Arachnid stan.
I liked them both equally, but I liked Starscream equally more.
Ooh, nice. Well, I mean, he was definitely given the more interesting material that we will get to later on in the episode.
Yeah.
I love the cliff jumper grave scene with
RC?
RC visiting his grave. That was a great moment, and she's kind of reminiscing and thinking about, like, I need extra resolve to move forward.
Yeah.
Like that a lot. And then we get the patented Starscream side change that always happens at least once in these types of programs. And they're kind of debating it, and Bulkhead makes a Fallen reference. Is the Fallen in anything other than the movies, JC?
Yes, he shows up in a couple different things. And,
Okay.
He's I'll get to that.
Well, that makes it a lot less slimy then. So I'll accept it.
No, the movies just butchered him along with everyone else. Don't worry.
No, they
Sounds about
didn't.
right.
I was playing.
I'll just never forget the opening of Transformers 2, where you just have the Fallen, he's just stomping on people. That's it. That's the opening. It's okay. All right. So Starscream is like, "Oh, let me join you, Autobot." That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. I liked it.
And I love that they actually used Optimus's trailer for something, which is they tied him up and threw him in the trailer and transported him around.
Another
wanted me
use
to come back.
for the trailer.
That was awesome.
Does the trailer come back, do you think, JC?
I mean, I was surprised that it came back here, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see it again.
Yeah, because when I saw that trailer, I'm like, that's not JC's trailer. JC's trailer was in the other episode.
Yeah, I completely forgot that it was in this episode. So yeah, I was wrong about something, guys. I'll admit it. I'm not infallible with Transformers, apparently.
I was
Dang.
kind of hoping they were going to cram Starscream inside a bulkhead or something. Be like, all right, we're not using that trailer. Put a bulkhead.
Oh, I also thought it was cool how much, it's either how big Starscream is or how small Arachnid is. Like, seeing their size difference was kind of cool, because, like, Starscream is pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then when he's, like, beside Megatron, it's...
Well, because Megatron is literally, like, the biggest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Optimus
all of
is
them.
like a head shorter than him.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I totally didn't realize that till this batch of episodes.
Which is neat. So, obviously, we see the grave of Cliffjumper, so I'm like, all right, something's going to happen in regards to that this episode. And it did, because frickin' RC finds out that Starscream killed him. Because of a slip of the tongue. He was like, oh yeah, like, it was just like, oh, when I killed that one guy who was your friend. Oh, did I say that out loud? And she was like, all right, let's freaking go. I'm going to kill you right now. And I'm like, all right, you do it, RC. But she doesn't.
Does anybody wish that she did?
Yes.
No.
I mean, of course.
I like Starscream.
I like the story as it played out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would be sad to see Starscream go because he's one of my favorite Decepticons. But from a RC character plot perspective, yeah, it would have been cool to see her like just kill him and then feel bad about it after the fact.
Yeah, or give him like a scar he'll never forget kind of thing.
Ooh.
That would have been
Like a voice box. Yeah, like no voice box. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, you know, or like a...
No legs.
Take off the other arm.
And make him eat it.
Or to brand him like Batman in the Batman v Superman. With an
with just her face.
Yeah, with just her face. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, this episode was great. I liked it a lot. What did you all think?
I concur with everything you just said. It was a great episode.
Yeah, it was a good one. I think my favorite part was when Starscream was literally begging on his knees for, you know, just like screaming and begging for her not to kill him, or other way around, like just the way it was.
Such an actor.
Loved that.
But I liked that he just went off on his own this episode, and future spoilers, but we don't see him again this season. That is cool.
Yeah.
He didn't just go like snubbing back to Megatron.
Yep. He's got some tricks up his sleeve.
I liked his fighting, like where he basically like his fighting idea is just like get them to like feel sorry for you, then just slash their throat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Classic evil advisor fighting style.
He'll do anything he possibly can.
Except fight just straight on.
No matter how low it is.
Starscream has big Yzma from Emperor's New Groove energy.
Yes.
And Megatron is Krong.
But she's got no... Oh, wow. Okay. That is definitely not how the rules work. Coast. Alright.
Spinach pops.
Spinach pops.
So I had a couple quick things to kind of bring out about this episode real fast.
Give it to us.
Wait, what did you say?
Give it to us.
Oh, yeah. So the immobilizer, I don't know if it was ever called that. I think it might have. So, yeah. So that was kind of like the MacGuffin of the episode that Arachne was trying to get, and she used it to great effect against the Autobots. It actually is a invention in the original G1 show by none other than Wheeljack.
Oh.
And I can't remember everything about the episode, but I think the Decepticons might have stolen it and used it against the Autobots. But it was pretty cool to see that referenced here in Prime. And the second thing is that at the end of the episode, there was a dedicated to Larry Cullen. At the very end, you might have seen. Mm-hmm. Larry Cullen is Peter Cullen's older brother, a.k.a. Peter Cullen is the voice of Optimus Prime.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Larry Cullen is the one who, when Peter Cullen was trying out to be the voice of Optimus way back in 1984, Larry Cullen is the one who told Peter to, basically Peter modeled his voice of Optimus on Larry. And Larry kind of told him, hey, Peter, don't be like a jock or a typical hero. Be kind of a gentle, like, inspirational, kind-voiced hero. And Larry Cullen is the reason that we have Optimus Prime the way we have him today.
Ooh. I like it.
Yeah, just thought I'd point that out.
Cool. We all owe it to Larry. The cucumber.
That is awesome.
All right. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I like the Starscream thing. I honestly, though, I will admit, I totally did realize Starscream wasn't in the rest of the season. I did not realize that.
Oh my. Yeah, I remember, like, as a kid just being, like, watching this the first time, just like, where the heck did he go? Why is he gone for so long? Because it's like a 6-episode stretch. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, shall we move on to TMI?
TMI, bro.
Oh, TMI, bro. All right. So, TMI, according to IMDb, the scenario or the episode is about Miko accidentally downloads ancient knowledge stored onto a data cylinder into Bulkhead's brain. The Autobot gains tremendous amounts of information, but it's threatening to delete its own personality if the data is not removed from his system. All right, so I realized why this episode is called TMI, but totally expected something different.
I'll bet you did.
Yeah, I totally did. I thought this was going to be a very much human-oriented episode as well, which there was human elements to it and humans. And then I also completely forgot as I was watching. I was like, oh yeah, we didn't have humans last episode at all. Or I feel like did we have them the episode before that too? That'd be episode 19. Oh yeah, we did. I don't know what, but yeah. So yeah, that was something that was about, like, I totally expected something different. Another thing about this is, JC, I know you haven't seen the movies. All right, but let me see if you've heard of this. There was a time when Sam had stuff downloaded into his brain, Cybertronian information, right?
Was that in Revenge of the Fallen?
Was that?
That sounds right. I feel like I vaguely remember that.
I watched the trailer recently, and that was the trailer saying that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I have seen that movie.
Oh, you have seen Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wait, so the movies came out, that movie came out after this?
2009.
Before this?
Yeah, before this.
Before this. So, it seemed like it was something else that was taken from the movie, or the movies. Does that happen in any other Transformers show? Where something is, like, downloaded to the brain and they're writing a bunch of ancient Cybertronian information?
Nothing's coming to my mind. It could have been elsewhere, but it's not a memorable part of the mythos, if it is.
Okay. All right. Well, so to be honest, guys, this episode didn't stand out to me that much. Yeah.
I forgot this episode existed, guys.
Bit of a filler.
Yeah, it was a bit of a filler, but there were some cool quotes, like when someone said, "Boo-hoo, I'm shedding lubricant." Like, I thought, oh, all right. Like,
that was Breakdown.
Yeah, it was Breakdown. And then Knockout said, "You painted my paint job. Prepare for surgery."
That was fun. I always
liked that.
Knockout.
I almost like when he said "prepare for surgery." My mind went straight back to The Dark Knight Returns, where he's like, "I am the surgeon," and so I went straight there. So like, good vibes there.
Yeah.
And then there was that scene where I guess they were trying to get us all emotional, where like Bulkhead kind of, seemed like he was gone, but then turns out he wasn't. I no way did I think he was gone, so they kind of missed the mark for me on that one.
Yeah, chalk it up to this episode specifically being for kids.
Yeah.
Where like we can immediately tell like, oh yeah, this is a filler. Nobody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people gotta take the fall. I asked last week who was gonna take the fall, and this time it was me, but JC has given me great episodes prior, so
yes,
it is what it is.
Give me
except I feel like this is 2 times out of the 4 times we've recorded where I've received the worst episode.
Have I gotten any filler yet?
I don't know, Curtis. There was a lot of
Scrappy, I guess, right?
What'd you say, JC?
Did I give you Scrappy? No, I gave Josh Scrappy.
No, you gave Josh that one.
Yes, you did.
And then last time I had 2 fillers.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I love having filler. So.
There are some fillers that are really good, like elements to where you're like, this pushes the story a little bit, like the one where episode 19 where they were digging through the caves looking for Energon.
Yeah.
What is it titled? Rock Bottom, where it seemed like a filler, but there were some things and moments that really pushed the story.
So. Well, to be fair, in all fairness, this does push the story forward because it leads directly.
Yes, it does.
It does.
So, fair.
And I'm just saying, it's an integral part of the show in some ways.
Some ways, some green ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, that is true. You got points there. But as a whole, the episode was all right for me.
That's
it was
fair.
Boring.
Yeah.
It was
boring.
I don't want to watch anymore, so I finished it.
Whole show.
I was done.
But
I just thought it was boring that the way that they saw Bulkhead lose his memory was that not in a cool way, but in a drawing fake equations and saying fake things.
Yeah, none of those sentences actually probably made sense. You can probably have some top world mathematicians and scientists together, and they're like, "Yeah, what are you saying? Absolutely makes no sense."
Those aren't words.
Yeah, he was saying some words, but I felt like they did not belong in the sentences he was using them in. So,
yeah,
chalk it up to Curtis is right. This was a very kids-oriented episode.
Yeah. So really quick though, there were a couple of interesting things that happened. Yeah, I know.
I'm just playing.
For crazy people like me only. So I think towards the very beginning of the episode, there was a monster truck thing, like a TV ad or something.
Yeah. They went to a monster truck rally and she recorded it with her phone.
Yeah, that.
No, it's the name of it that's important.
Yeah, okay, you get it, Anthony. So they said these beast machines.
Yeah.
Oh, so a reference to Beast Wars?
No. So Beast Machines is the sequel show to Beast Wars.
Oh.
And it ain't good.
It's not that good.
Oh, so that's not it. Okay. All right, what else do you got?
But they still referenced it.
They did.
I was so shocked that they said Beast Machines.
I know. Kind of amazing, though.
Everything is here.
Yep. I did notice, I did pick up in Bulkhead's gibberish that he said Perceptor's Paradox. and Perceptor is a pretty big Transformers character.
Oh, okay.
Well, pretty big's a overstatement, but he's a Transformer character.
All right. JC picking gold out of the rubble. All right.
Literally. And then the final...
Did you go through the text of all of what his equations were to give us all the references?
No, I just picked up on that one. I'm sure there were more, but I didn't like do it at like half speed to try to get it all. But just the act of Bulkhead painting though is a reference because his animated counterpart from Transformers Animated, he was a painter. Like he actually like painted artwork. So I thought that was a clever reference to Animated.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he used a mop to do it, so it was a very clear reference. So it was nice.
Oh, cool. That gives probably Bulkhead way more depth than we have now, so that's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. It was a filler episode.
All right, so shall we move on to the next one? Episode 22,
Oh, yeah.
Stronger, Faster.
This episode was stronger and faster than the previous.
Heck yeah.
Ratchet injects himself with synthetic energon, which makes him a menace to the Decepticons, but also to the Autobots and to himself. Don't take green stuff, kids. Don't take it.
Don't do it.
Hot point number one. Well, let's just get out of the way. Ratchet's freaking dope when he's on the juice.
He is, bro. Okay, so I was trying to like come up with the best comparison. So I went a little more PG, and I just said Ratchet's on some pre-workout, some serious pre-workout.
Yes.
Oh yeah. He was Breaking Bad, those Decepticons. Let me tell you. But I loved how he fights when he's juiced up. Dude's like breakdancing on fools.
Honestly, I wish every Transformer, like when I was coming into a Transformer show, I kind of imagined everyone fighting like that before starting the show.
You thought they would fight like Ratchet dancing?
No, well, yeah, like just like ninja-like, bro. Dude was a straight up ninja.
That is an interesting statement.
It's so true though. He's fighting like a straight up ninja, and I was like, I could get used to this. I wish all of them fought like this. I mean, RC and Bumblebee are probably the closest. That's probably why Bulkhead just is less appealing for me.
He's got like two moves.
Yeah.
He can punch, and then he can punch with a ball.
Yep. If you can do like a flip in the air, that'd be cool.
Yeah, sure.
You don't think it's
turn into a ball and run around and roll around?
Combat abilities?
No, wait, what?
You don't think it's a pro that they have diversity in their combat abilities and styles?
Well, they can have diverse combat, abilities and fighting styles, but that fighting style has to be, good. They Bulkhead's supposed to be the warrior of the group, but I feel like if like RC really wanted to, she could take him down.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, RC's a warrior too.
Well, yeah, or even Bumblebee. He was supposed to be the warriors of the, like you were telling us before. Like this is totally a tangent we don't need to be on, but you were telling us before, like the class of warriors that the Wreckers, right? You know how they were supposed to be able to do like the top missions. Does that really show in Bulkhead's fighting style in this show? No, I don't think so.
He's got a very specific set of skills.
Yeah.
I think that there will be episodes that showcase it more.
I hope so. Anyways, Anthony, continue.
If he had like a big sword, that'd be sick.
That would be cool.
There you go. Just pretend he has a sword.
Instead of a ball hand.
Wrecking ball.
Alright, moving on. We get to see Optimus be concerned about his friend and his issues. But like "We need a medic in here. We don't need another warrior." That was a fun quote. And then I was very uncomfortable when Ratchet back talked to Optimus. I'm like, why would don't do that,
Don't
man?
do that. Don't do that.
I was like, please stop.
I was hoping Optimus was just like, I will end you. Optimus, though, the best leader, like, he literally is a top tier leader, the way he approaches the whole situation.
Oh, yeah.
Next top point, we get to see their like little training area for the first time when he's like freaking decking Bulkhead to the walls.
Yeah. It was judo moves right there.
Yep.
Top point number 3, none of that juice mattered when he went up against a Megatron. Freaking broke his body.
Yeah, he did. He just grabbed his fist and was just like, you're done.
Freaking crushed like his like chest inward, and then all the green energon came out. Well,
true. Well, okay, so is Megatron like technically still hopped up on Dark Energon?
Yes.
So
100%.
Yeah.
So that makes him,
keeping him alive.
make him more powerful than his self beforehand.
Seems like
at least marginally, I'd say.
Okay.
It's more like he's got voices in his head.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but I feel like he's juiced up a little bit too. So like they both were juiced up.
He's mainly juiced up when he's around a lot of Dark Energon more. Like, that's the main when it happens. And he can't die as easily. That's the main thing.
he's like part zombie.
Yeah.
Zombatron.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
What if Megatron was a zombie?
Back to zombies, bro. Let's get off
That
of
was
this.
that was actually a good Ratchet impression. I don't know if that was intentional.
I don't think it
No.
was.
That's just my regular voice, dude.
Nah, dude, that was a good Ratchet. You were like, what?
What if? I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I was doing a voice, so I can't replicate it.
Dang.
Yeah, and then he gets off the juice, and then we're like, man, I'm glad Ratchet's back to his aching bones. He's back.
Yeah.
But overall, pretty good episode. We got to see a different side of Ratchet, and he got to let out all of his aggression, so he could be chill the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's so chill.
He's got a little chiller, you know. He's like, man, I love Raph, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty chill,
true.
dude.
Oh
We
yeah.
got to see Ratchet torture a miner, though.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah.
pretty much
A
up.
coal miner or energon miner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably should have went with literally telling the audience that Ratchet was torturing a kid. Like
Oh, well. M-I-N. I mean,
Bro.
that miner seemed like he could have been a kid too, so you never know.
Yeah,
Dude, I didn't even know there was a class differentiation between the Vehicons. Like, I
Yeah,
guess
I didn't
this was
either.
was this the first time seeing that Vehicon with like the different like head shades?
Oh, the two lines instead of like the whole I don't even know
The
what
one
you call
line?
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think all of the miners have had that design. They've just always been in the background before, so you've never really seen it up close.
Okay. What does he transform into?
Who knows?
Do they all
Probably.
transform into the same car/jets things? Because sometimes they
I
transform into
hope he
jets and sometimes
transforms
they're
into the
cars.
I hope he transforms into the drill and they just kind of leave them in the energon mine.
So
They just kind of ride each other.
So Jack was literally driving a Decepticon through the mines.
Yeah.
It's like, what's up,
Yeah.
Megatron?
Oh, yeah, totally.
What's up, Megatron? How's it going?
He's like, aren't you gonna transform, dude? He's like, nah, I kind of like staying as a drill. It's kind of a
It's like,
thing.
hey, Jack, you're driving my
Yes,
nephew.
cannon.
I know they call me a drill, but don't push too hard.
So
It
enough of that.
was this episode. Oh, well, I wasn't okay. Whatever.
No, what were you saying, Josh?
Oh no, I wasn't representing it.
Okay,
That's enough of that.
Yeah, for sure. It was this episode where I just remember like, oh yeah, Raph and Jack are characters. Bro, I don't know why.
Yeah, they hadn't been in this for a while.
Yeah,
It felt like at least
4 episodes.
so it just felt like a while since Raph and Jack were in anything. They could have been in 2 episodes beforehand, but it just I guess their absence was really felt.
Although I would argue that I think that at least in season 1, the humans were in it just the right amount for me.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
because there were many like just Autobot centric episodes, and I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike freaking like Armada or even worse Energon, where it's like, oh, what's Kicker up to?
They literally made Kicker the main character.
Optimus, what do you mean I can't go into space without my helmet? Come on!
Oh, I think I'm gonna ride in my space skateboard and go hang out with Alpha Q.
I think he's voiced by Kicker's voiced by Light Yagami.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, listen, remember his voice?
It's been so long since I've heard Kicker's voice.
Yeah, Kicker is voiced by the same guy, I'm pretty sure.
That's amazing.
That probably got his role in Death Note.
I mean,
Totally.
That's impressive. That's an impressive accomplishment, Energon.
It's pretty similar characters.
Light was awesome.
A little darkness.
Josh, did you ever
Oh yeah,
finish
I love
Death
me some
Note?
Death Note, bro.
Did you ever finish it?
No. Will I ever? Maybe. Literally, that show ended. It should have ended right there. There was no need for continuation. I'm not giving a spoiler at all because I don't know who's seen the show, even though it's been out for quite some time, and it's been on like the top list for a lot of people. It should have ended where I stopped. It really should have.
You really want to spoil it? I can feel it.
I'm not going to.
I can feel it.
JC, how'd you feel? How'd you feel about this episode?
Oh, this was a good episode. I mean, I remember really liking just having a Ratchet-centric episode, getting to explore the concept of synthetic energon, which had never been explored before this show. Mm-hmm. So just fun stuff all around. I really liked it.
Something new. Curtis, what about you?
Oh, I really liked this episode. I mean, it was cartoony in all the best ways. Because, I mean, he said hoo-ah like 5 times.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it was so great. Every time he knocked a Decepticon out, he just put his arms up like, hoo-ah!
And you could tell that voice actor was like, oh, I get to be cartoony for this? I'm going to go all out.
Oh, yeah. Jeffrey Combs is an amazing voice actor.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Combs. Comb the desert. All right, for me personally, I enjoyed the Ratchet parts. That was kind of fun, but I still wasn't feeling this ep that much.
Really?
Yeah. I literally wrote down not feeling these eps so far.
It's tough when you just can't allow yourself to have fun.
I know, right? It's so tough. Like, I enjoyed Partners, but TMI was a huge drop for me. And then I guess I was really wanting, like, the story, and I knew that it was coming to, like, we were coming closer to the finale, and we were the 4-parter or 3-parter as the show titles are. But I don't know what it was, but I wasn't really feeling it completely. I had some fun. Ratchet was fun, and he brought a fighting style that I wished a lot of other people or Cybertronians used in the series. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for this current synthetic energon, JC.
What's that?
So it makes it real powerful for a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, I think we haven't had any evidence on if it wears off or not. I mean, it would wear off once you burn it all.
He had to drain it from his body.
All I'm saying is, if they keep a little bit of it with them at all times and they're about to die, put it in your system.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Juice it up.
Juice it up.
Like freaking say, like, Bumblebee's fighting Megatron, he could just put that stuff in at the beginning, and then he could just go ham. All I'm saying.
But I mean, he kicked Ratchet's butt even with it.
It would give him a little more of a chance.
Wait. Oh. Well, I feel like Ratchet could probably take down like Starscream, right? On the juice, maybe.
I feel like Raph could probably take him out on a one-on-one.
Oh goodness.
So much yes.
All right. So, shall we move on to episode 23, the beginning of a 4-parter?
More or less.
All
Basically.
They should have just had these as 4 parts.
Yeah, they got too cute.
All right. So,
okay.
called
One
Shall Fall.
Fall. According to Wikipedia, Optimus Prime recites a passage from the Covenant of Primus, detailing a doomsday prophecy connected to Earth and involving Megatron. After Megatron attacks Raphael and Bumblebee, leaving Raph unconscious and severely injured, Optimus realizes that he can't end the Autobot-Decepticon conflict diplomatically, and decides to confront Megatron and destroy him once and for all.
All right. So, before you get into your hot points,
Yes.
I just
Yeah,
want to say
I have pre-hot point thoughts as well.
So I had mentioned beforehand when we were saying which episodes, who got what episodes, right?
Yep.
And I had came to your episode, One Shall Fall. And I was like, you know what? I bet this episode's going to be great. I bet JC chose this episode on purpose. And let's just say this, JC. You totally chose this episode on purpose. Like, 100% chose this episode.
Gosh,
I guess you could say I'm a little salty after getting TMI, but it is what it is.
Josh, I chose all the episodes on purpose.
Yeah, you did, but for yourself. You gave this episode to you, JC.
If we were in the format beforehand where like we would just choose random ones, we wouldn't know what to choose, and JC would just get the best one every time.
No, I feel like he would be a little nice at times, you know?
Okay, I have been nice at times. I could have taken partners for myself, but I gave it to Curtis.
I appreciate that.
Yep. All right. It's all right, JC. But I had predicted my main point is that I knew that this was going to be a great episode, and I knew that like I said it. I feel like this is going to be a great episode, and that you chose it for yourself, which is totally cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
if I was rating how I chose the episodes, I'd say I gave myself half of my top picks, and I gave generously the other half of my top picks, so you find help.
JC, I'm gonna give you grief this entire time we're doing this, but it's just
I really don't care because I still got the episode.
Oh no! It's just fun. All right, Curtis, what are your thoughts? Prior to JC's hot points, what were you gonna say?
I have a critique of this otherwise excellent episode.
Yes,
and it's right off the top. So they introduced this big prophecy thing literally out of nowhere.
Yes.
I really feel like they should have at least mentioned it once or twice before. Because it seems like okay, we're trending, we're arcing towards something's gonna happen with this dark energon, but it was like some super generic sounding prophecy that came out of nowhere. Wasn't a huge fan of that, honestly.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, totally get that.
I thought I missed an episode when it started. I thought this was a recap of the episode before because it's so sudden. Because all of a sudden you like click on the episode, it's like before there was time. You're like, okay. Then I had to check back. No, I've seen everything so far. All right. And then it's like we gotta stop him quick. They were like, from what?
From what? What is happening right now?
There's unicorns everywhere.
Yes. Well, are there any other pre-hot points discussion topics?
No, I don't think so. There's Anthony's got some.
I like this episode. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
All right,
Well,
JC.
I'm just going to jump into the fact of the Covenant of Primus. The Covenant of Primus is one of the artifacts of the original Primes, and we will save that discussion for a later episode. But it is the book and the artifact belonging to Alpha Trion, who is one of the original 13 Primes. And he used the quill, another artifact of the Primes, to write prophecies. And he basically used it to record Transformers history. But then the quill also granted him the ability to kind of foresee and write about the future. And all of that is inside the Covenant, and we kind of get to see that here. The Covenant really does hold prophecies for the future. So this was kind of a real thing.
That's wild.
Yeah.
We'll probably discuss this over this next 4 episodes, but the reality at which they create the universe is wild. The Earth specifically, but yeah.
We will get
into that, but yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so it was really cool to see the Covenant show up here. I was actually shocked to see that the first appearance of the Covenant of Primus was way back in Beast Wars when it was used for a similar purpose. Remember that, Anthony?
I do.
I was expecting I don't. Or no.
I do remember.
Yeah, so I was shocked to see it show up there. So really cool Beast Wars thing there. And it's gone on to be a lot of things since then. But yeah, I thought it was real cool to have the Covenant show up. And then second hot point, I just loved this exchange. Optimus, you want to hear a joke?
No.
Yes, I rewinded that and
That
watched
was
it twice.
That was fantastic.
No.
You didn't say it in a mean way. It was just like, no, not really.
No, yeah, it's Optimus. You want to see something funny? No.
No?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks, Jack.
It's like, dang.
I know. Oh, hilarious.
He wasn't always like this. He used to have joy. He was a lot like you, Jack.
Many eons ago.
Oh, man.
Jack's like, I don't even know how to take that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm nothing like Optimus. We will get to all of that. But then, hot point number 3, they said the word Tesseract in here, and that kind of threw me off.
It's weird.
I wrote it down. I said, there's the Tesseract. Don't know what it is, but they said it.
Yeah, I mean, that's as far as I know, the Tesseract has nothing to do with Transformers, so they just kind of threw that in there. So that's interesting. And then I love Megatron's quote, "Why leave matters to fate if one can forge one's own destiny?"
I like that.
Heck yes.
Get the juice.
Uh-huh. And then next hot point, I love how Ratchet said that he has grown to need Wrath. Character development.
That was nice.
Raph, the best of the humans.
Best of the humans. They're all pretty good, though.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next hot point, Optimus absolutely destroying Megatron.
See, there it was.
What a great fight. What a great sequence. Just amazing all around.
Zack Snyder would have approved because of how much slow-mo was used in this fight.
It was half the episode.
Every hit, there was slow-mo. I was like, dang, they're really trying to feed to the Optimus Prime and Megatron lovers, which I totally get because them two fighting is probably the best hand-to-hand combat in the show itself. So,
well, without a doubt, it was glorious to behold.
Glorious.
But yeah, just an amazing fight. Definitely, in my opinion, the best fight up to this point, and I love to see it. And then the final hot point, we got to see a dark Energon eruption, which I guess I will be able to elaborate further on because I have the next episode. Any other thoughts from this episode before we move on?
All right, JC.
Yes.
Since we've established that you yourself do know the inner workings of a Cybertronian, more than June Darby herself, what is the difference between slicing up a Decepticon like bot, like the Vehicons, versus like a Decepticon main? Because Optimus Prime will totally like spare the lives of like Starscream and any main, but like Vehicons, he destroys them straight up. Gone.
You want to know the real answer, Josh?
Yes, give it to us. The audience deserves an answer.
The main characters have plot armor.
Oh my gosh.
The plot demands it.
Yeah, that is the only answer that's really valid in this case. That's why the Vehicons exist, so that we can just have the Autobots tearing stuff up.
I feel like Optimus Prime tears them up even more. He's like bringing out.
Oh, he
swords.
especially enjoys it.
That guy is just shredding them, tearing arms off, everything. There was one time where he killed 3 of them, and their body parts were flying everywhere, and he's just standing there all majestic. And that's when I thought of the question. I was like, what is the real difference here?
Wasn't it this episode actually when Optimus was just like he went onto the Nemesis, the Decepticon ship, and he's just like, all of you, just give me Megatron, stand down, and you will be spared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a cool line.
It was a cool line.
It sure was.
Anything Optimus says is a cool line.
It sure
is. He could say no, and we'd talk about it.
Yeah.
So I looked up Transformers Tesseract, and I got something no one would have expected. I got a Reddit article called "Transformers films are now part of the MCU. How do events change?" And it's this whole fanfiction from 5 years ago about how Shield has been keeping Megatron in the Allspark.
In a world
man,
where Transformers
Wow.
and Captain America work
this.
together.
Oh man, I remember someone asking me if no, not even asking, just like telling me that the Transformers was in the MCU because the Tesseract and the Allspark were the same thing.
Ooh.
You have no idea how hard I face bombed.
Oh. Oh my gosh, JC, you're killing me, bro. Transformers, assemble.
Remember in the Stronger Faster episode when they got all that Energon? It just looks like a bunch of Tesseracts.
Oh no.
Yep, a bunch of cubes.
It did. They turned them into a bunch of cubes.
And my theory is that how they put that Energon inside of them is that they kind of just eat them like apples. They kind of just munch on them.
Oh, I was totally expecting him to like be Mario style, right? Just like bang their head against it and then boop.
I think Bulkhead just
banging
sits
his
on
head
him.
against a bunch of cubes.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is a really deep cut, but in the original show, they actually kind of like in that show the Energon's actually pink, but they literally like take it up and drink it like a liquid out of the cubes, and the Decepticons get drunk on it.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
That
I
show was
totally botched that previous joke, though. Man. All right.
JC, how many times have you seen the original G1?
Oh, just once.
At least
just
8 times.
That's not a show you rewatch a whole bunch.
I hope it's my favorite show when I watch it.
Oh man, we will be watching it, and it'll be interesting after Prime.
Who is we? What?
No thanks from
Yeah.
me.
No, just Anthony and I. Don't worry.
Yeah,
2 words: endurance test.
Bro.
I would love to watch it with you, JC. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, we're doing it. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, we got a lot to think about.
A lot to think about. I mean, our inevitable Transformers podcast will have many different shows to go over.
Oh, okay. If you did have a Transformers podcast, this is before we move on to episode 24. JC, what would you call it?
We went through a bunch of names like a year ago.
We did. Oh man, what did we?
Call it
know.
Autobots Assemble, bro. No, I was kidding.
Robots are simple. Not quite. Not quite.
It's the truth. The MCU. Transformers exist.
How about
Okay,
the con artists?
Ooh.
The con artists? That's not bad.
Thank you.
That is
The
not
auto-
Pay me royalties.
Comic
The
Cons.
auto-
The Comic Cons.
Oh my. Okay, we gotta move on to One Shall Rise.
Did
Part
not get
one.
an answer. We'll get back to that at some point. Episode 24, One Shall Rise, Part 1.
Okay, Wikipedia says that Unicron, the Chaos Bringer, a malevolent ancient being, awakens from the center of the Earth after millennia of stasis, causing an epidemic of natural disasters across the globe and sending dark energon erupting from volcanoes. Optimus explains the history of Unicron and his battle with Primus, deducing that Unicron is actually the Earth's core, while Megatron attempts to pledge his allegiance to the Chaos Bringer.
Okay.
Do we have any pre-hot point takes like on the last episode?
Yes.
I think we all three have one, and it's the same one.
What the frick?
All right.
What is
So
this nonsense?
as a partial hardcore Transformers fan myself, let me just say that this is the first major thing that I think this show actually butchers. Because Unicron is the dark side of Transformers. He is the Apocalypse in terms of X-Men. He is the Thanos. He is the be-all, end-all. This is what happens at the end, and it's epic and awesome. Not some stupid, dopey-looking rock dude. That is... we'll get to it in the third episode, but like, who is dispatched in the most anticlimactic way possible. I hated Unicron. Absolutely hated him.
I thought visually he didn't look too great.
Terrible.
So they took the low polyed background of like all of the episodes if you zoomed in really far, and they just made him look like that. That was just what he looked like, was just blurry and kind of bad. And I remember this very well when I first watched this show. I'm like, oh, this ain't the Unicron I remember. This is gross.
Yeah, so this is my introduction to Unicron.
Now, I will say, overall, I enjoyed the finale in spite of Unicron.
Oh, yeah. But we're in part 1. We'll get to that. JC, give us some hot points, bro.
Yes. Yeah, good points, guys. Good points. So, first of all, with One Shall Stand Part 1. No, One Shall Rise. My goodness, why did I write?
What? JC butchering the line. Bro, the line.
Well, the line is one shall stand, one shall fall. We just had one shall fall, so can you really blame me?
Okay.
But yeah, one shall
You are
fly.
absolved of all blame.
Absolved of all, actually not all crimes, most crimes.
Anyway. June and Optimus have their first fight.
They do.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it wasn't their first, but their first on screen.
Well, she was wearing heels for him the last time we saw her, so.
Boy, was she.
Yep. So I just thought that was interesting. And just wanted to put that out there. Hot point number 2, Agent Fowler is still amazing. Love everything that he's doing. Amazing.
So
He just walks in. He's like, Prime, don't go blowing smoke up my... Hello, Miss Darby.
yeah. So is Fowler also like the Weatherman? Because it was the exact same voice for the Weatherman.
Yeah.
It's like,
They kind of the voice actor.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta save a couple dollars where you can so we can get cool fights.
Would have been cooler if the Optimus voice was, but then people probably would have been mad.
The Optimus is just like, and the tornado.
There's another lightning bolt.
Exactly.
Cullen literally voices all the NPCs.
That would have been interesting for sure.
But they just reuse Optimus lines, so like, oh, and it's flooding in the South Florida area. One shall stand, and one shall fall.
Oh, see, you had some Ratchet-esque voice there. See, it's
I
there.
just got flashbacks to like the 3 character models that Iron Man Armored Adventures used for every character.
Everyone's like a variation of like Ryan O'Brien or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the comparison I thought about. The 3D animation in this show, leagues better.
So much better.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It came out around the same time.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I think we talked about that, didn't we? I think we.
I think so. Yeah, this is way, way, way better. But anyway, so Unicron is Earth.
Stupid.
This is the stupidest thing.
Okay, I will say, I think that this plot point in of itself is interesting. It was executed terribly, but I think it could have been fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it had the possibility of being fun.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just like, I guess I had so many questions. I was like, wait, so humans came to be on Unicron, and like an atmosphere was created, orbit around the sun, gravitational pull, the whole deal.
Well, Unicron's just the core, so, all of the rocks and all the stuff just kind of came on around.
Meteor that had just debris that had just formed on him.
Yeah, formed around Unicron. Yeah.
Over like trillions of years.
Yeah, exactly.
As someone who played Xenoblade Chronicles 1, this is not that far-fetched.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess my main issue is that, like, I'm just remembering how I remember Unicron from Armada and how much of an impression he made. And, like,
He was epic.
And, like, just him aesthetically from, like, the outside and the inside was way more creepy. Way more creepy.
Yeah. The execution of the design was not very good. I know that, and I experienced a little bit of disappointment, but
did they make a Unicron figure?
No, they would have had to have made at least one.
They made one that was exclusive to the Japanese market, and it was trash.
Whoa.
Just like his design.
Yeah. It was.
He doesn't transform into anything.
No.
Lame.
Do you know what that figure transformed into? Remember that 5 seconds when Unicron had his face in the rock when he was talking to Optimus?
Yep.
It transforms into a face?
It transforms into a face in a rock.
Oh,
that is the dumbest thing, bro.
It is. It is
hilarious.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Gotta look it up, though. Gotta look it up.
Please. But anyway, okay. So, Unicron being the core. So this is the only continuity where Unicron became Earth's core. It's the first time this was ever done, and the only time it's ever been done. And it's interesting. I personally much prefer Unicron being his own planet as opposed to being, the core of Earth. But it's an interesting way to retell the story, and I don't completely hate it, but I wish it was executed better. That's how I fall upon this. So anyway, the next plot point is that Megatron tries to make a power grab with Unicron, but Unicron is not having it. Unicron really couldn't care less about the Transformers/Cybertronians because they are all Primus's creations, and he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the most interesting thing that this episode did for us. It gave us the full backstory of creation with Primus and creating the 13 original Transformers.
That was cool.
That was cool.
So, would you guys like to know a little bit more quickly about the 13?
Oh,
yes.
Goodness. Yes.
Give it to me.
Okay, guys, so these are the 13 original Transformers. The first one was Prima. He is kind of like the hero type of guy. We know nothing about him really beyond just kind of seeing his appearances in books and comic books a little bit, but even then, he hasn't really appeared much at all. So he's kind of just shrouded in mystery a little bit. But the cool thing about him is that he wielded the Starsaber initially, which was the strongest sword to ever exist. And how that was forged.
That's pretty cool. Bulkhead could definitely use that.
Yes, the Starsaber is a real cool weapon, real powerful. Originally, the Starsaber's hilt was the matrix of leadership.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. But
Was the Starsaber in Transformers Armada the sword that Hotshot got from the minicons? Is that also the Starsaber?
Yeah, that's the first version of the Starsaber, actually.
Love me some hot shot. Let's go.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I much prefer this version of the Starsaber. So the second of the 13 Primes is a certain individual called Vector Prime, Guardian of Space and Time, who's also a main character in Transformers Cybertron.
Yeah, that's a cool name.
It sure is. Do you remember him, Josh?
Vaguely.
Vaguely? Okay. Real cool character. I love it that one of the 13 was actually a main character of the show.
Let's see if I look him up, I probably will know.
You will recognize him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So basically he controls time. So really cool guy. Number 3 is Alpha Trion. Trion is basically the historian of the Primes, the one with the quill and the covenants. We already kind of talked about him. And Alpha Trion was also Optimus's mentor when he was a lowly data clerk named Orion.
I was going to say, I remember him from the War for Cybertron game, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's in it for a second.
Yep, exactly.
Wait,
he's
we
blue.
didn't get to know that till part 3, though, right?
Yeah, we'll get there. But slight spoilers there. So that's Alpha Trion, real cool guy. Number 4, Solus Prime, the first female Transformer, who was also a creator. Her forge, a big hammer that she used to create weapons, is the she was basically the creator of the Starsaber, the creator of the Requiem Blaster, the most powerful weapon in the universe probably, and many other of the artifacts of the Primes. She was the one who forged them.
Do Transformers have genders?
What's that?
Do Transformers have gender?
Yeah. I mean, RC, yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, they do.
June Darby would know.
So their race does have a gender.
Yeah, they do. Solus Prime is definitively a female, RC is definitively a female.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So anyway, the next one is Micronus Prime, the first Minicon.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't think I'd want to have that name.
Anyway, number 6 is Alchemist Prime. Kind of like an individual who could kind of like transmute metals, kind of like alchemy and things like that. But he also went by McAdam at certain points in history, and he had an old oil house on Cybertron.
See.
Next. Yes.
That's
cool. Oh yeah. Once you finish, JC, I have a point.
Nice. So just a few more. Nexus Prime, the first combiner. Really wish we got combiners in this show, but that's okay.
That'd be so dope. I'm a combiner fan.
Oh man, Nexus is a real cool guy. Yep. The next one is Onyx Prime, the first Beast Transformer with a Beast alt mode. Then we got Amalgamus Prime, the first shifter, kind of like makeshift. He could basically make his body into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Quintus Prime, who had the Ember Stone, which was capable of creating life. And he actually is the one who created the Quintessons, like Alpha Q. And those will be relevant later on in the timeline. Not necessarily this show, but I'll explain the whole timeline at a certain point. Then we got Liege Maximo, who is basically Loki in basically every sense of the word. Then we, of course, have a certain Megatronus, who also went by The Fallen.
Oh, he did?
Yep. The individual that Megatron himself named himself after.
Oh.
Yep. So he was one of the original 13 Primes, the wielder of the Requiem Blaster. It's really interesting, but basically the long story short is that there was a falling out after Unicron was defeated by the Primes, and Megatronus was kind of in love with Solus, but then due to some unfortunate circumstances, he accidentally murders her, and then he becomes the Fallen. Yeah.
What?
Josh is freaking out a little bit.
What? Oh my gosh. We need a show about this. I swear, if we had a show about this, it would blow any Transformers show out of the water.
Oh, I have been wanting a show based around the 13 Primes for decades.
That's the dream.
It is the dream.
That's basically what I was going to say, is like, we just need a show about this.
We really do. We really do. It makes me so mad that they haven't been explored much in physical media. But anyway.
So are the 13 Primes kind of like the same, like throughout like the different canons?
Oh, that's a huge discussion. So originally,
I love how JC's like, that's huge. All right, let's get into it.
Okay. So the 13 Primes originally were multiversal singularities, which means that in every single continuity of Transformers, they are the exact same characters, and they just flow between the continuities. Kind of like the Watcher. They were all kind of the Watcher.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Yeah. So they exist in all multiverses at the same time. And I do mean multiverses. So, yeah, they were basically, universal singularities. Multiverse singularities. But then there was a comic event that may or may not be canon, but I think it's at least considered canon, where they had to basically form walls between the universes, and they had to split themselves into the different continuities. So now they're no longer multiversal singularities anymore, and they're all unique. So in a couple different continuities, there are slightly different members of the 13. But this is the version that I consider to be canon, and the version that I think is the most true.
Okay. So is this the same 13 that's in G1?
G1 didn't have the 13 original Transformers.
Okay.
G1 didn't have a lot of stuff, actually. Every single show has added a lot to the continuity until it kind of all became one with Prime. And they kind of told the whole story in the aligned continuity.
I see.
On the list.
Yep.
JC, you should teach a class. You should teach a Transformers class.
I really could.
Oh my goodness.
So really quick, there's one more Prime left, and this is the most interesting in my opinion. He's literally called the 13th Prime. Although in some continuities he has another name, and I will get into that. But the 13th Prime, I actually just want to read you this really interesting quote here from a book that I have. The book's actually called The Covenant of Primus, but this is what it said. So 13 was unlike the other primes. His type was warrior, a physical adept, with the leadership and intellectual fortitude of kings. Where Megatronus was riddled with contradiction, 13 had no such troubles, and was perhaps, as a result, far lesser in ego than any of the other late primes. At this time of our making, he was quiet and dutiful, obedient to Prima's commands, and dedicated to assisting those who required it. He was like Prima's second, but unlike the rest, he had no special object or weapon associated with him, taking up only those lesser tools crafted by Solus, and his armor, as he was instructed. This would seem odd if we did not all know that his true purpose was as mediator and visionary. 13 was an inspirational speaker and a deep thinker with a calm soul. His steady, perceptive nature meant he was well liked, and he pulled his weight. He used to comfort others in times of stress with a friendly hand on their shoulder and the words, "All are one." There was a contented light in him that made us believe it. Even Megatronus could be calm this way when he came in from one of his great battle rages. foaming with his own puissance and resentment. 13 united us. Without his influence, we would have fallen into disarray far sooner. So guys, at the end of the battle with Unicron, what happened was the Well of All Sparks was set up, Primus became the core of Cybertron, and Transformers started to become a thing, more so. And what 13 did is he kind of recognized that in order for there to be harmony on Cybertron, he had to understand what these lesser beings, the 13 were kind of like gods of the Transformers. They were greater beings. So he had to, he wanted to understand them better and to be a part of them. So what he did is he threw himself into the well and he allowed his spark to be reborn as a regular Cybertronian, kind of giving up his status as one of the primes. And can you guess who he was reborn as?
Bumblebee.
None other than a certain data clerk named Orion Pax.
Really?
Reincarnation.
Uh-huh. And the other title given to 13 is The Arisen.
Ah, the fallen, the arisen.
Mm-hmm.
I see what they did there.
And
So basically, this is the first time that this was happened. And this was never made canon until this book came out, basically. But Optimus Prime was one of the original 13 Transformers.
Makes sense.
Just in a different form.
Definitely earns the title Optimus Prime.
Exactly. So basically, it could be said that kind of makes him unrelatable because he was basically a god, but he was stripped of all of his memories when he became Orion Pax, and he was literally just any other Cybertronian that kind of lived his life, and he lived his life well. And then when he was bestowed the Matrix of Leadership, he earned all of that based on just being a regular bot. And the way I understand it, the Matrix is the collective wisdom of all the primes,
Correct.
including the 13th prime.
Oh, so once he received it, he gained all of his memory back?
That's never been explored in fiction. It's never been explicitly stated, but that's my headcanon. At least to some degree, I think he at least implicitly gained the knowledge that he originally had and basically became more like that, in my opinion. I don't know, but it's interesting to discuss and think about.
Well, you can't have Transformers Prime, guys, without a JC Transformers deep dive. Gotta love it.
So that's the 13 original Transformers, and I kind of love that Optimus got to be one of the 13. I don't know. That's just me.
Totally understand that.
What's your reaction to that, Anthony?
That's pretty wild. I never really thought about. I knew what I've heard of the 13, but I always thought of Primes, like the title of Prime, of just being earned as the leader of, like, say, the Autobots or Transformers or Cybertronians.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But because that's kind of how they portrayed and talk about it. It's like, oh, he was the last Prime. Like, oh, it's talking about actually the 13 gods.
Right. Well, also, basically, what happened is that when Transformers Society, Cybertronian Society, kind of took over, Prime became the title given to the leader of the world, basically. But none of the primes that were set up as figureheads, like the kings of the planet, basically, none of them bore the Matrix of Leadership. So they were kind of like false primes, like just in name only type of thing. Up until Optimus, when he finally bestowed the Matrix, and he became a true prime, basically, as a result of it.
Prime.
Yeah.
All right. Love it, JC. That was a lot of stuff, man.
I know that was a deep dive, but
some dense lore.
Shall we move on to episode 25?
We sure can.
All right, episode 25, One Shall Rise, part 2. IMDb states Megatron joins with the Autobots to journey to the core of the Earth, also known as Unicron, and vanquish Unicron with the Matrix of Leadership. So, obviously, I didn't have many hot points with this. It was, it just seemed like, I mean, it was good. It was good. But it just seemed like a singular story. I don't know how to explain it.
It was a middle episode in a trilogy.
Yeah, basically. It's basically what it was. So I thought that the aspect, I guess part number one, and hot point number one, is that Megatron helping the Autobots was kind of predictable for me. Like, I predicted it would happen right after the conversation that Megatron had with Unicron.
I think that's fair.
Like, once he had that, and like Unicron's like, "You're basically trash," and like all this stuff, I was like, "Oh yeah." So Megatron's he's gonna want to take this fool down. So best way to do that is to team up with the Autobots. It seemed like. So that's basically, yeah, I think. Also, can we talk about, or not talk about, just so awesome it was that Miko was just yelling at Megatron. Just like, the last phase you'll see will be mine! It was just like, wow, Miko, my goodness.
She's basically just like, I'll kill you dead.
Yeah, I'll kill you dead!
Yep.
Basically, man, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. That's probably one of my favorite human moments. It just seemed kind of out of nowhere, because Raph is the one who went out there. Raph walks out there, and he's like, let me show you something. And then Jack kind of said something, but then Miko went all out. I'll kill you, Dad! I wish she said that. I'll kill you! I'll kill you, Dad! You stole my line, now you stole my lines. Oh man. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically about it. And I realized they were fighting against Unicron, or at least beings that, or Unicron. How is it really? Is it his consciousness just being spread out everywhere, kind of like Ultron? Was Unicron basically Ultron? I mean,
yeah, pretty much, except his duplicates are even weaker. Yeah. I hated how easily they all went down. Like, this is Unicron. Gross.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll some Unicron bashing. But JC, what did you think about part 2? Like, how did you feel? Like, to me, it felt very much like a middle parter. There wasn't many hot points that I had for this episode specifically. But you might have a lot more to say.
No, I really didn't write much of anything down. I mean, I wrote down it was cool that they kind of introduced the Matrix of Leadership here slightly, at least in name. I mean, I already kind of brought up that the Matrix is the collective wisdom of the Primes, so...
Yeah. Which they go into depth a lot more in part 3.
Exactly, so there's really nothing to say. I just thought it was funny that Arachnid pulls a Starscream, like, as soon as Megatron's even slightly disadvantaged, and she's just like, I'm commander of the ship now.
Yeah, true.
That felt a little redundant from storylines we've seen before.
That's fine.
But it is cool that she was smacked down immediately by Soundwave, because he's like, I am not taking this garbage anymore.
I think that was part 3, actually.
Yeah, that was part 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not much happened in part 2. Not much happened. Thanks,
okay,
JC.
something that did happen in part 2 that I loved was how snarky Megatron was. I mean, he always is, but when he walks in, he's like, so this is how the magic happens. Or, this is where the magic happens.
Oh, yeah, when he walks into the Autobot base.
That killed me. The line delivery was perfect. Oh, his voice actor's so good.
What did he call it? Quaint? Is that what he called it?
Yeah. How quaint.
Did you guys know that Frank Welker, who voices Megatron, is also the voice of Freddy and Scooby-Doo?
I did not know that.
Really?
I'm just picturing Megatron talking like Shaggy or Scooby the whole time.
Yeah, so Scooby-Doo and Fred Jones. That is Megatron.
Oh my gosh. Optimus Prime!
My favorite Megatron line from this episode was when he sees Jack. He's like, "I never forget a face."
Yeah.
I know.
That was about it. Honestly, that's still a hanging thread though, right? I guess. I don't know.
How Megatron and Jack are best friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I also got some. Oh, we didn't even talk about the tension, or not the tension. RC was like was it part 1 where she's like, "Well, she is your mother." Sigh. Was that part 1 where she was about to take all the kids away?
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was in.
Yeah, it was either part 1 or One Shall Fall. I don't remember.
Wasn't having it.
Yeah, she was something there. But yeah, so not much happened in part 2. It is what it is. Let's move on to part 3, where a lot of magic happens.
Heck yeah.
All right. Transformers Prime 2013, episode 26, One Shall Rise, part 3, 22 minutes. As the Autobots do battle at the Earth's core, Jack learns more about Optimus's past on Cyber. So, we got a lot of info that JC brought up before, but he'll elaborate for us a little more, I hope. Where Optimus Prime was not always Optimus Prime. He was Orion Pax, which is still a pretty cool name. It's a pretty cool name.
And it's still OP.
Heck yeah.
Where he's a clerk or sometimes a librarian, kind of archiver sometimes, I think.
Yeah, I got archiver vibes.
Yeah, archivist is how they say it. He's basically a data clerk / archivist, basically a historian / librarian.
I am going to school to become a Prime.
You really are. You are on the best track to be Optimus, Anthony.
Yeah. I would be a silly Optimus. But we got to see some Josh flashbacks. We got to see some flashbacks.
Yes, we did get to see some flashbacks.
We got to see flashbacks of Megatronus and Orion Pax and their diplomatic debates, episode 1 style, of Star Wars.
Yeah, I did get some Star
pretty...
Wars vibes.
They had a council. It's pretty cool. What'd you guys think of the flashbacks? Were they surprising in any way, or just happy to see it?
I thought they were just excellent. I
thought they were really good too. I had no idea really about the story itself, so this was new to me. But it was really good. At first, it was interesting because we knew that Megatronus would end up being a villain, but the way they portrayed him at first is that he wanted equality for everybody, and then they're like, he's a villain. I was like, oh, how are they portraying this? This feels weird. But then they did good at the end, so yeah. You know, like some anti-communist kind of vibes kind of thing.
You're just like anti-revolutionary in general.
Yeah, that's kind of how I got it.
So Josh finally, give you the flashbacks that you wanted?
Oh yeah, dude, it was really. I mean, well, the flashbacks I really wanted was more between, we did get Optimus and Megatronus or Orion Pax, which is really cool. On a side note, I'm getting a ton of feedback from somebody.
I think that's from Anthony, unfortunately.
From who?
It's showing up as from Anthony on my screen.
Yeah.
Oh. I will come back.
Oh, once he leaves, things change. Oh goodness. All right. Anyways, um, but yeah. Okay. No feedback now. We're good.
Nice.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I was as I said at the beginning, like I want more Megatron, Optimus Prime flashbacks, like with them fighting, or like, but this was really good too, like showing where they actually were friends and the fact that they agreed on certain ideas and whatnot. So yeah, this satisfied me quite a bit.
Yeah, they did a really good job of concisely kind of summing up all of their story.
Yeah, they did.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good explanation.
All right.
Not only like Orion Pax and Megatronus, but also like the explanation for Autobots and Decepticons themselves.
Yeah, literally.
And how Soundwave was been there from the beginning as well, which is
Yeah, that
explains
was cool.
his total dedication to Megatron.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Megatron put him in charge?
I know.
Yeah, maybe that's a good question. That's a
He's
really
always like,
good question.
Starscream's always been kind of not loyal. Put him in charge. Arachnid was on her own for thousands of years. Put her in charge. Soundwave's just sitting there like, bro, what you doing?
Yeah, Soundwave is by far the most loyal.
Oh yeah. I think it
And
goes
I mean,
back
pretty
to
powerful.
keep your friends close and your enemies closer type thing.
Not completely sold.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Soundwave though.
Yeah, Soundwave is pretty cool.
Soundwave's amazing.
Yeah.
Episode.
My next hot point, Optimus before he leaves gives Jack a little key that also looks cool when it gets to human size. And he's like, "Here are the keys to the ground bridge." And he's like, "Why wouldn't you give this to Ratchet?" It's because I trust you and you've grown up. He's like, "Why do I have factory keys?"
Like, it's simple, Jack. You got those baby hands, and this is a tiny little thing that you hold in your baby hands.
Your baby hands.
And then fast forward, he's just banging it on the side of this, of this rail, and Ratchet's like, "What you got there?" "Oh, Optimus gave it to me. It's the keys to the ground bridge." "No, that's not the keys to the ground bridge. That's keys to the what they call it, Delta 6 or something."
Oh yeah.
Vector Sigma.
Vector Sigma. Yeah, that's right.
Vector
Don't
Sigma.
worry, I won't spoil that.
No, don't spoil it. I know what happens with the key.
Yeah.
It's cool. But I thought it was cool. And what do you guys think of the Optimus and Jack symbolism?
So
mean,
far,
like, the
weird.
Comparison?
Yeah.
So far, kind of weird.
It does feel strange, like not really well earned. Like there were some episodes where they were trying to make like, okay, Jack's like a leader, but I don't feel like he really was. He really has, quite
He hasn't earned it.
Earned that comparison.
I think like the main thing that he did was show courage when trying to get his mom from Arachnid and then not killing Megatron. But does Optimus know about that?
Maybe?
I assume they brief on missions.
I mean, most of the times he has been the somewhat responsible one in missions, as well as like when they leave the cave, like either Ratchet or whatever. They're like, "Oh, Jack, you're in charge," But
I just see Optimus holding this key, like, man, I got to give this to somebody. And he's like, Miko probably shouldn't hold this.
Yeah.
Raph would probably turn it into a toaster. Well, Jack, you are just like me, my friend.
Or he's just like, man, Jack, you do nothing more than anybody else. You can hold on to this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jack, you're kind of taller than the rest of your friends.
Yeah, you're a little older, so there you go.
You skip work every day.
True.
But yeah, we got introduced to the little key. And then we get finally ground bridged into the center of the Earth, inside of Unicron. And I can't help but compare the inside of Unicron to Armada. And this one's lacking the fleshiness.
Yeah, this one looks like a generic like final level in a video game.
This
Yo,
could literally,
I said the
if
same
you told
thing.
me
I
this was
said
inside of a ship, I would believe you. This was inside of a Decepticon ship.
I literally said the same thing. I said this is straight up a video game boss level. Like this literally was that was it for me. That was like I'm on in there with Curtis.
All fair.
But next hot point, we get to see Optimus and Megatron fighting side by side, and it's dope.
That was cool.
It's pretty dope.
That was pretty dope.
Against a bunch of Genosians.
Oh my goodness.
But okay. A little thing that bothered me with this fight scene is everybody's fighting on this one bridge. And then we cut to RC, and all of a sudden she's like 6 bridges down.
Why is she down there?
How'd she get down there? Did she just like, well, see ya, and jump?
Well, they showed her falling, actually.
They do?
Yeah, they showed that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It was kind of a blinking and miss at moment, but it happened.
I'm like, alright. I thought it was pretty cool if she transformed and it kind of flew up there. But I like how Bumblebee tried to rescue Bulkhead, and Bulkhead's like, you cannot save me, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
And then
You're a small boy.
But Optimus got the pecs, so he got him.
He got the back.
The pecs of leadership.
He's got
Yeah.
Orion pecs.
Speaking
I
of
like that one.
Oh my.
speaking of the final level kind of aspect, we get to the final boss, I guess. It's a big heart. And then they kind of like tries to go into Megatron's mind and kill him, but Megatron's like, no, I love Optimus. And then Optimus chest bumps the sky, and then it's done. But he forgets who he is, and we get the best cliffhanger of any show probably so far.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I was trying to think of all of the, well, not just cliffhanger, but like even season finale maybe as a whole. Like the Demon Slayer season finale was really good. The season finale for Tron
Happened.
was frustrating. Extremely frustrating.
There was some good stuff.
There was some good stuff, but it just was unexpected, I think, for the writers as a whole. So,
just to let you all know, I'm not peeing. I'm getting water.
Okay. Yeah, for Tron, I think it's just the finale was unexpected as a whole. So they were trying to go for a lot more. So this might be the best season finale we've had. That element itself.
Well, no, in terms of the very ending of a season finale, I think in terms of overall season finales, this was probably in the middle for me, quality wise.
Okay.
I mean,
middle with the Batman above it, like, you know.
No. I mean, it's not a fair comparison, but the series finale of X-Men was way better than this.
I think that 3 of the 4 X-Men finales I liked better than this.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean the Sentinel finale was awesome, and then the first Apocalypse finale was awesome, and the last Apocalypse finale was awesome.
The first Apocalypse finale was pretty good.
This was just pretty good, with some amazing moments and some really sucky choices, in my opinion.
Yeah. I wish we got like even like a final fight that was maybe a little short, but we still got it. Was like Unicron, but like he's not Rocky, and we see his actual like metal.
Yeah, we got nothing.
I guess I am summing up the finale as that like last minute itself. Which
I mean the cliffhanger was awesome.
Yeah, the cliffhanger.
And that's what most people will remember.
Yeah.
Is the finale of like, what? Optimus doesn't remember Bumblebee?
Yeah.
And then,
I guess if you think about it, yeah, the episode as a whole probably is about middle of the road. The Unicron battle was kind of disappointing. I did like the battle in Megatron's head though. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we've said multiple times, Unicron was kind of a disappointment. Sorry, JC. I don't know if that.
No, it's reality. It's not good. There have been better interpretations of Unicron all around, unfortunately. But I think that the finale, did the best thing in that it just gave us the backstory, gave us the lore, expanded the universe, and it just set up some cool stuff for season 2.
Yeah, it did. It did set up something really good for season 2, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. Shall we move on to our kind of overall thoughts about Transformers Prime, and then rank?
Let's do it.
All right, Curtis, give us some overall thoughts, bro. What are you, in
All right,
how this sets in?
Season 1 of Transformers Prime was, I think, probably the most consistent season of television we watched up to this point. I think Tron had higher highs for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
But Transformers also, like, obviously, I know has a good ending, or at least a definitive ending, whereas Tron didn't, so that's a big thing. I thought the humans were overall much better than I expected. Obviously, every time they introduced like new Autobots or new Decepticons, that was pretty much exclusively always a lot of fun. Except for maybe like the one big green generic one that was like early on that became a zombie. He was pretty boring. But the rest of them were great. And I overall really enjoyed season 1. I think if I had to give it a rating, I would give it an 8.3.
Oh wow! All right.
Oh wow! Okay.
Okay. Anthony.
I love Transformers. All right, Transformers is dope.
Yeah.
And this is probably the season I probably have most ingrained in my brain as a child. But I mean, I got a lot of season 2 and 3 in my head too. But like, a lot of this is actually pretty nostalgic for me. And it was fun to come back to it, and it was a consistent ride throughout. And I'm putting in perspective of the other shows we've seen.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well.
The not so great episodes of this show are like 10 out of 10 episodes in like a lot of the other shows. In like season 1 X-Men, this would be at the top.
Oh yeah. This destroys season 1 of X-Men for sure.
And this destroys obviously Iron Man Part 2, and
I was going to ask you though. The real question is the season 1 of Transformers Prime better than season 1 of Iron Man Armored Adventures?
I've definitely seen the Iron Man Armored Adventures season 1 more. But that's just because we had it on disc as a child.
Yeah. But face to face, which one?
Every time as a child, I would just think of the theme song. I'd be like, "Let's watch some Iron Man." Oh yeah. I mean, I have to give it Transformers Prime, dude. It's literally better.
Okay.
It's literally better. And it's more rewatchable too. And it's not a contest. But theme song wise, that's a whole nother story.
Oh well, we already had our discussion about the theme song.
I can always have that discussion. I can always have that one.
I'm always ready to crack open some fresh takes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But yeah, overall, I am enjoying myself immensely, and I can't wait for season 2 to even expand my experience, transform it even.
Ooh.
The only thing I'll add is there were a lot there were a lot of like 8.59s in terms of episodes, but I'm still waiting on an episode that completely like blows me out of the water.
I am too.
Yeah, same.
Like a welcome home Hinokami style episode. I'm waiting for that. I think that it can hit it. I believe in Transformers Prime. So I'm excited for season 2.
Not to hate on Transformers, but it's really, I don't know if I've seen too much of a all spark, real ceiling to meet that welcome home Hinokami. For me personally.
Well, no, more than anything, I believe in JC.
Oh, okay.
And this has got to be his favorite show of all
Alright,
time for a really great reason.
Yeah. I get that. And JC has not spoken during this whole time, but I get it.
JC,
He's just absorbing.
JC, watching this show makes me really want to have that podcast with you because I want to watch all the other Transformers show and compare it.
The Transformers lore, like I think not to hate on the show, you've really carried the show. I think for me there has been some really good highs for sure, like no doubt at all. But you have made me way more interested in the Transformers lore as a whole and the characters and who they are. But yeah, like I'm waiting for a really, really high episode. And that moment, you know, where they were on the space bridge, whatever you say, between Megatron and Optimus, that was a really amazing moment. And maybe one of my favorites in the season.
I agree.
Yeah, but you, JC, before we go into our rankings, real fast, just give us, what did you think about season 1? Does it really hold up to what you thought as a whole? Are you laughing, JC?
Yeah, I mean, season 1 was alright.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of on that as well.
I'm kidding. No, I absolutely loved season 1 and everything about it. It's extraordinarily nostalgic for me, and it gets better every time I watch it.
Okay.
And I love that fact. Yeah, I don't know. The show juggles the characters so well, and it brings the lore and mythology, but it doesn't lean so heavily on that it distracts from what's at hand. Has great bad guys, with the exception of Unicron. And I don't know, it's just high quality content. I don't think any of these things that I'm saying are a surprise to literally anyone, but I don't know. It's real good stuff. How about we get into some rankings?
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Who would go first?
Curtis, do you have your rankings?
I do. All right, coming in at the bottom, we got TMI. Because, it was filler. Above that, I have Stronger, Faster. An episode I certainly enjoyed, but I enjoy the other ones more. After that, I have One Shall Rise, Part 1. I was still very angry about Unicron at this point, so I was like, no.
Ouch.
I put Part 2 above that. Then I put Partners at number 3. Love that episode. Really fun. Definitely the best, my favorite RC episode so far. Part 3 at number 2, because despite all of my issues with it, I did love seeing Megatron and Optimus together, and the ending is a banger. And then One Shall Fall at number 1, because I love me some Megatron v Optimus action.
Love it.
All right. I can go next. All right, at the bottom I have TMI. Self-explanatory. We already said how I feel. Faster, Stronger at number 6. Actually, at the next one, I actually had One Shall Rise Part 2. I don't know. This is damn. And at the next one, I have Partners. I actually really.
Whoa.
What's up?
That's low.
Oh, that's 4. Yeah, I mean, I
A
don't
little
know.
low there, boss.
Yeah, I guess it was a little low, but I will say, like, when I at episode 22, when it's stronger, faster, I literally said not feeling these eps so far.
Dang.
Yeah, it just is what it is. At number 3, I have One Shall Rise Part 1. At number 2, I have One Shall Rise Part 3. Kind of like what Curtis said, even though Unicron was Unicron, I feel like that last minute, as well as Optimus and Megatron fighting side by side, were amazing moments. Like, really high. You know, like, there were some really, like, not like low lows, but some lower lows, but some really high highs. And then, yes, One Shall Fall at number 1. So, yeah. All right, Anthony, what you got?
All right, I have TMI at number 1. No, no, it's at the bottom.
Bro.
Yeah.
TMI is there because it's TMI to talk about it. And then from above TMI, I have One Shall Rise 2. I just barely remember what happens in this episode.
Yeah. I get it.
And then I have after One Shall Rise 2, Stronger, Faster. I like that episode. It was my episode. And then after Stronger, Faster, I got One Shall Rise Part 1. A very good episode. I liked it. And then after One Shall Rise Part 1, I have One Shall Rise Part 3. For all the reasons listed, that's why I like it. For all the reasons also listed, that's why it's not higher. And then at number 2, I have Partners. Because that episode had Starscream with RC, and my shipping's complete.
Oh my gosh, please stop.
And then
please stop.
There's not a better pairing. There's literally not.
Please stop right now.
And then at number 1, surprise to no one, One Shall Rise Part 1, because it had the true shipping of all, Dark Energon and Megatron.
You mean One Shall Fall, right?
Yeah, he meant One Shall Fall.
Is that what I not said?
That's what you not said. Yes, correct. You said One Shall Rise Part 1.
I did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro. One Shall Fall Part 3 it is.
Oh, man. Well, I think for the first time in Court of Capes history, copy-paste Anthony's list onto mine, because it's the same.
Whoa! What?
Nice!
JC!
I know!
How can we have the same list?
This is kind of a magical moment.
This magic moment.
Our Transformers nerdum, no matter what level it's on, has the same list.
I know! We gotta do that podcast now. It's just the stars aligning.
I thought for sure you would do your thing of like putting the 3 parts together.
No.
I'm kind of surprised.
That realization where the degree of quality between the 3 episodes was different enough that I could rank them definitively.
We had to have Josh episodes at the bottom. It just wasn't. It is what it is.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, I chose One Shall Rise Part 1 as my second episode, and I was expecting it to be the worst of the 3, but it was actually middle tier, at least for me and Anthony.
Yeah.
And you know, it was fine, but I gave Curtis the pretty much definitive number 2 episode, except for what Josh thinks.
I'm happy with the number 2 episode.
Yeah, it was a good. Yeah. All right.
JC, how long can we keep the streak going?
Oh, I don't
There's
know.
no way next week's gonna be the same, bro. No way.
Oh, you say that now.
You never know. You never know.
No way, bro.
But this is been a while.
You want to place a bet on it?
No, because that's like a one, like, no.
Yeah, 1 out of how many times we've actually, like, episodes. So we're probably on episode 43 or 4, just for Court of Capes. So that's a 1 out of 30, out of 44 chance.
Yeah. But guys, before we move on, I have a pitch for the court.
What's up?
It's no surprise that a certain Unicron let us down. That's just the way it was this episode.
Yep.
But Unicron has an interesting title, and since he let us down, I would like to usurp his title and use it. And
I love it.
For the court. If the vote stands, I would love to be called the official Court of Capes Chaos Bringer.
Chaos
that's
Bringer.
So that's so fitting. Because you
Chaos
do bring the chaos,
Bringer.
JC.
That does fit.
I 100% support
I
it.
would like to present to the court, but that JC brought chaos way before Transformers.
But that's why
Exactly.
it's so fitting that he gets it now, because he earned it.
I finally earned it, and I'm
I
stealing
totally
from
agree.
Unicron.
I would say unicorns at the unicorns at the bottom of the list.
JC the Unicorn is always an option.
Yeah, unicorn's always an option.
I think I'll stick with the Chaos Bringer. But yeah. Well, thank you for your support, gentlemen.
JC the Minicon.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is what we're gonna do for time reasons. Is we'll present episodes according to JC's list, and you will find out what that is next episode.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Our thoughts on episodes 20 through 26 of Transformers Prime, the season finale. We have 2 more seasons to go, as well as a movie, which will be fun. All right. With all that said, it's been Unicron.
It's been chaotic.
Chaos.
Chaos.
It's been funny.
Buy the Allspark. Peace out.